welcome to Boat Revival by Ben. I'm Ben. Behind me, a guy's got a 2000 Dodge Ram. Wait, that's not a boat. Did anybody check this? This is a boat channel. We're not supposed to be working on trucks. Well, it turns out a guy is bored as heck this winter, and with it being so frozen, with all the snow and no heated shop, I guess we've decided that we're gonna work on a truck. Yeah, that's right. Behind me is this beautiful 2000 Dodge Ram 3500 24 valve Cummins diesel. And if you haven't noticed already, it's a crew cab long bed dually. Yeah. I just drove over to Delaware yesterday, bought this truck sight unseen, paid $5,000 for it, and drove it home on that flatbed. Last night, got home about 7 o'clock. It was a little dark, so didn't feel like doing much more. But I only know what the owner told me about this vehicle, which it turns out it was his daily, until he just bought a 2021 Ford F350 Power Stroke. And what led to that was allegedly he was driving this rig down the road and heard some horrible noises inside of the transmission and could no longer go out of park or neutral. Lost reverse and drive. And for some reason at the same time, the transfer case stopped working. Well, if you know anything about these 47RE transmissions, once you hop up a diesel rig like this, they don't like to live much longer in the truck, much less live long originally without being hopped up. So, truck got towed to a shop. Shop pulled the valve body off. We're checking things out. Well, and it turns out somebody improperly rebuilt, beefed up the transmission prior. So, this old girl got roadsided. It sat for a few years at the mechanic shop, and finally the owner decided it wasn't worth putting the money into to get it roadworthy again, and decided to pass it along. And I think I got passed to. I'm the receiver here in this situation. So let's go ahead, let's hop into the truck. We're gonna see if we can get this thing, one, running and driving again, and two, if we can actually have a running and driving work rig. Can we clean this thing up and fetch some of those high dollar prices that these trucks are going for these days? If you've looked at Marketplace, the specialty sales dealerships that sell these old school second gen Dodges, I mean, they're fetching a pretty penny. Now, this truck does have rust. Frame is solid. A few components around the frame, a little rusty. Cab corners are actually in good shape. There's a little rust in the floorboard on the driver's side. We got a bad bumper. That'll go bye-bye. Rear bumper is, let's just say, losing its chrome. The bottom of the door panels are a little rusty on both sides. The interior, despite needing to be cleaned, is actually pretty top-notch quality for what I've seen in some of these old rigs. Does have a lift kit, about a 6-incher on there. We got blocks in the back and some shackles that are probably 12 inches long. And I'm foreseeing replacing the bottom end of a shackle due to some rust issues. The bed is something to be desired. Our fiberglass dually fender flares have seen better days. They are a little cracked up and, well, they've been cut up. And unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to find some new fender flares and repaint those, because without those, this truck kind of looks silly. Well, first thing you should notice is the old girl's straight as an arrow. Has never been in a wreck. Frame straight, bumper straight. Just a good, clean base. Beautiful, big. What are these? 35, 75 R16 aftermarket off-road tires with custom aluminum alloy wheels, at least on the outside. They were ceramic coated at one point. What are these? Falcons. Falcon. I saw it in the back. Wild Peak. All terrain. But it looks like they have succumbed to the weather. But I do know some nice aluminum sprays that will counteract all that junkage there and bring those things back to shining. So really nice aftermarket wheel package on this with tires that are dang near brand new. I mean, they've already gotten broke in with the mud and dirt on them. Let me bring you around here to the back real quick. We got a bumper that is de-chroming. You know, we can send this off to the chrome guy and see if he can, well, no. These are $100 on the internets. So we're just gonna go ahead and get a new chrome bumper. Make that look better. Tailgate, I think we leave it. She's an old work rig. Aftermarket lights. Oh man, hello. Yeah, I mean, it's a work rig. You gotta leave a little bit of the patina. That's plenty thick. I mean, they're not building tailgates like this anymore by any means. If I can get this thing open. Oh, there we go. Already bed lined. Oh, and look at that. Turnover ball. I'm sure that's rust welded into its socket and never going to come out unless you put a lot of heat and hammerage to the bottom side. But we do have a nice 4-inch aftermarket exhaust. I'll take that. She did hang off the side of the trailer just a little bit. She's big. This is a big girl. Big, wide rear end, which is part of what caught my eye. Anyway, got another fender flare over here. This one's not as bad, but it's had the bottom side cut out. A little bit of rust on the bed, on the underside. Like I said, turnover 5th wheel hitch. Wow, that actually still moves. Shocking. Okay. Coming down here, we do have the old aftermarket Slifts pumps. We'll get to the engine in a second. Looks like it had some step sides at some point, but those have been removed. Frame's actually in pretty good shape. I think a guy can fluid film that and make it look pretty nice. And our transmission, which is going to be project mission number 1, is to remove that transmission and transfer case after we wash this rig, obviously. Okay. I love these hoods. Believe it or not, I actually owned a 2001 Dodge Dakota Sport, and I'm seeing a lot of similar things on this truck as that one. First thing I notice, that is a newer radiator. Winning. Absolutely winning. A lot of aftermarket going on here. Let's see. Got an aftermarket intake. Seem to have replaced the air filter with ATF fluid. That seems about right. I forgot to screw my cap back on, so I'm glad that didn't fall off in transit. We've got a fancy sporty intake horn with a special intake grid heater. I like that. Engine oil. Let's see. Yep, it has it. Okay. Not as many aftermarket wires as I would have expected. These trucks are normally filled with just a slew of craziness inside these engine bays with aftermarket things, but you know, I'm seeing a exhaust temperature gauge, and other than that, what's this? Boost pressure. Okay, see, those are the things you need. Like I said, it is a 5.9 24 valve. This is a 2000. So I think in 2002 they switched over to the new body style. But ran this engine for quite some time. Reliable. This is one of those million-mile engines. And right now it only has 185,000 miles on it, which is part of the reason why I bought this truck. That is a huge win. Let's see, big old Valvoline oil filter in a very unfortunate position, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and hop inside. They're not as bad as I thought. Those can be painted up for sure. Another reason I bought the truck: Laramie SLT crew cab, 8-foot bed, no rust on the cab corners or cab rail. And outside of needing a good cleaning, this cab is clean. Well, clean minus. Don't mind that. That's just that you're not supposed to be there. But I like this. We got a dash cover. It's dusty. But somebody, well, I think our dash is missing. Oh, careful, those are my aftermarket gauges. I don't want to hurt those. Oh boy. Well, classic Dodge brittle dashboard, but guess what? They sell kits for that on the internets. So we can get a new dash for this truck, new dash cap. Replace all this. Why not? Look, this has been off before. Can go back on. Old Pioneer head unit. Don't know what this is. Do not know what that's doing. Just sticking out like that. It is an automatic. Oh my goodness. Everybody, hold the phone. I just got some of my money back. I think that's $10. Yeah. Yep, that's going right back there. That is, we can walk away right now and be happy. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm just gonna put that back and, oh, Jesus. Oh boy. Okay. Right. Okay, moving on. Smarty tuner. I'm not familiar with the brand, but it works. The truck is tuned. This thing was up there, and I got a whole slurry of booklets and a free hat. That's pretty sweet. What brand is that? I don't know. We're going to find out later. Whole slurry of booklets down there and stuff in the back related to said tuner. Oh man, guys, look at this. Trans oil temperature. I'm not gonna lie. This, ooh, and she's pretty comfy. Oh, my trim is sagging. Well, careful, don't break your thing. All right, we already fixed that. It's good, heading in the right direction. This is a nice rig. Headliner's not falling down. I can get down with this. What are we doing? We work on boats. Well, before we go any further, I do want to get this truck inside of my shop, down the hill there and off the trailer. I'm going to do a quick power washing. It is about 38 degrees, things aren't frozen anymore, and I'm going to power wash all the dirt, the grit, and rust off that I possibly can before I put this thing inside. So let's get this thing all cleaned up, sprayed down, and then we'll roll this old jalopy down the hill and get inside the shop. Start tearing into this, figure out what we need to do to make this roadworthy again. Well, guy just finished giving her the old spit shine. Power washed the whole truck, got rid of all the sand, dirt, grease, grime, whatever I could get to. And then I actually just finished vacuuming out the interior as well, and pleasantly surprised about the condition that this thing is right off the bat. Let me preface all this by saying, I want to make sure this thing, first and foremost, runs and drive. After that, this will be a budget build. So I'm going to take this 26-year-old at this point, it's a 2000, so 26-year-old second gen Cummins. It's not going to be a show truck. It's not going to be a trophy truck by any means. I want to make this as close to factory as it was back in the day, minus the lift and the tune and the exhaust and the really big oversized tires and whatever's going on for the transmission, shift linkage, and the inside. Anyway, doesn't matter. I want to, for the least amount of money, budget build this truck, get it back running and driving, reliable. We're talking brakes properly, engine fires up every single time, transmission shifts just as it should. I don't really have a plan. I kind of just thought I'd throw this here in the garage and then start chipping away at things and eventually end up with a pretty nice truck. But before we do anything cosmetically outside of the washing and vacuuming that I just did, let's start with the basics. So we know right off the bat, this truck is dead, stone cold dead. Batteries are attempting to charge. We got it running on jump packs for 30 seconds. So really doesn't tell me a whole lot. And, well, I've got a bounty of things over here to the side that came out of the truck, including the valve body out of the transmission. This transmission, listen, it allegedly was built and then had to go to one shop, had to go to another shop, and then was parked at a third shop, and they pulled the valve body out, I think for the third time. All that said, don't even mess with the transmission. Just get rid of it. Get rid of that one. We're going to go find another transmission on Facebook Marketplace for cheap. Something that came out of somebody else's rig where they swapped it into a manual, whatever. And I'm not upgrading it either. I'm just going to do a 47 RE transmission, the automatic, with the transfer case. There's a few packages on Marketplace already that I can find, and throw that bad boy underneath the truck. So now that things are clean and mostly dry, let's take a peek at the interior and my bounty of goods that I collected. And then we'll, I think for today, try and get that transmission and transfer case out of the truck. I'm questioning whether I want to give myself more space underneath the vehicle. However, I already have about 2 feet of total clearance. I'm not sure how much more space a guy actually needs to remove a transmission. But I do have 4 heavy-duty jack stands sitting behind the camera. So maybe I give myself another 6 inches. Another 6 inches never hurts, right? Right. Okay, check out my bounty here. So, I already got ATF ready to go for my next transmission, which is great. Don't have to buy that. There's the air cleaner. Might as well toss that guy back in there. Yep, that's how that goes. Sweet hat. Looks like it's waterproof or floats or something like that. But anyway, definitely gonna add that to the old hat collection. got myself an extra pair of safety glasses. The ones on my head are a little worn out, so, whoop, no, I already scratched them. Okay. Oh, there are the keys, and then somebody's house keys, somebody's toolbox keys, door key. Yeah, anyway, the important one's right here. That's the ignition. We got the old Ram, and then our classic Dodge Brothers symbol on the back, and there's our door key. Starting fluid, of course, that was in the back seat. PB Blaster, I'm going to use that to lube everything up. Don't even have to buy it. We've got our little wheel stud, weird wheel lock socket for impacts, because it's got fancy anti-theft lugs on those wheels and tires. Thank God. What looks to be an original. Do I have the date? Does it show the date? I don't know. It says it's for 94 through 01 Dodge pickups. So, in case we need to refer to the Haynes repair manual based on complete teardown and rebuild. Well, that's what we're doing, so that's good. We've got a bunch of paperwork here from a bunch of services, and then the recent work that was done. We'll get to the engine in a second. A few things have been done there. Brand new belt, might as well throw that bad boy on there. Some duct tape, literal duct tape. 2 new fuel filters. We'll toss those guys on once it's running. And then, of course, the valve body, which that's our shifter linkage. Not going to do anything with that. We're going to get our own new transmission. New to me transmission, not a new transmission. Unless there's a cheap enough one online. Got our dash skirt, I'll call it. We'll put that back on after we replace the dashboard, after we get it running. And then some floor mats, we'll wash those off. MagnaFlow, or MBRP, I can't remember what it is. It's got a sticker on the tailgate. MagnaFlow, performance exhaust, with what is literally a 3-foot muffler. Put that bad boy back on again once we get it running and driving. I'm assuming they took it off to access some things down below here, underneath. I mean, let's get on our back here. I don't see any reason actually other than making it sound louder. There's plenty of room under here. Already, that's stock exhaust hanger. What appears to be some aftermarketage on the engine. So where do we start first? We got a whole set turbo. I'm not sure if this is aftermarket or not. Kind of looks like it. This exhaust manifold, again, kind of looks aftermarket. I'm not sure. I've never worked on a 24 valve 5.9 Cummins. I've had a 6.7 Cummins. Yes, 6.7. Go ahead, kids. You guys can all chime in there. I said it. But I did put a turbo and exhaust manifold 2-piece on that 6.7. And this is about how it looked, except it was a lot lower in here. This is a much easier and accessible turbo and exhaust manifold, so I really appreciate seeing that. I'm told the heater core and valve that's inside underneath our dashboard, that's a convertible right now, was replaced, so the heat works great, but I think AC is questionable at this point. Hang on, this is really bugging me. I thought I got all of these little whirly birds, but that one was still there. All right, you go bye-bye. What else? Oh, I'm forgetting, like, one of the most important things is the fuel system has been upgraded. So new injectors have been put into this truck. I'm not seeing too much crazy stuff going on in regards to fuel lines. I was told I have a box of the old injectors, which I don't think I do, actually. Yeah, if there's injectors here, they are invisible. But yes, the injectors have been replaced. It's got the air dog lift pump. You can hear that kick on when you turn the key on. Big old tires. Turnover ball in bed, which actually moves, which is probably going to get sprayed with some of that PB blaster. And I got up in the bed and removed all the debris that was back here. The bed actually feels pretty good. It's got the fifth wheel electrical hookup and some tie down spots. I cleared out some of the drains, so those are working now. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep this bed and just do 2 new fender flares over the dualies. Okay, come in here and take another peek ski. So I just vacuumed everything, and honestly, with a power wash and a vacuum, this truck has gone from a 4 to, in my opinion, a 6. Just as it is. Don't mind the fact that the transmission's blown up. But it looks really clean in here. The cab itself is dry. There's barely any rust rot on the bottom. Underneath, but it actually is not rusted at all. Or rusted through, I should say. I mean, there's some pitting that's started. But if we go around to this side, I want to double check the driver's side. Situation here. I think I'm going to paint this. We'll see, sand and spray that with some Rust-Oleum high gloss. Got this all cleaned up, a little bit of extra water left over from power washing. I can't stand wheel covers, so this is going to get cut off right away, and I'm probably going to regret it because the steering wheel is probably in worse for wear shape, but we'll see. I can't stand wheel covers, so that's going to go bye-bye. Anyway, this all looks good. What I wanted to check was down here. Yeah, okay, so where the parking brake cable comes out, we got a little bit of rust rot, which is okay. We can patch that and seal it up from the inside out and then coat all this with paint. My whole goal for the frame and underside of this truck, which I do with almost all of my trucks, is to fluid film it black. I like fluid film. It prevents and counteracts all the rust that's currently happening underneath, and then preserves everything so it does not continue to get worse in regards to the rust. This was quite the factory spec rig back in the day, I'm not gonna lie. Diesel dually, so heavy duty truck with the 8-foot bed. It's a Laramie, so it's got the electric adjustable seats, I think like 9-way, whatever they call it. Power locks, power windows with auto on the driver's side, and then you even have an electrical mirror adjuster. Oh, that's what I'm missing. They're in the other truck. Hang on, I've got more goodies that I completely forgot about. Anyway, I'm gonna, well, there's something up here that's one of my favorite parts of this vehicular, but give me 1 second. No idea what's going on here. This is my first question I asked. What in the world is this? And he said, allegedly, it is how the previous owner was shifting the transfer case. That is gonna go bye-bye ASAP. And then of course, exhaust temp in the hundreds and boost pressure, which this thing should stop at 30. There's no reason why this should go up to 60. Should stop at 25 really, but that might be why the transmission is blown up. Okay, my favorite part of this truck, the WND. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Hang on. I got to get a closer look. Look at that chopper gun fiberglass. The brow. I mean, you're not driving a diesel heavy duty rig unless you got your cab lights, which probably half of them work. Those weren't doing anything anyway. and then a hauling brow. I mean, for when the sun's just hitting the windshield just right, you got your brow up there, and all things are good in the world. God, I love that. That just, I mean, it makes the whole rig. Makes the whole rig. Hang on, let's really get. Yeah. Brow is money, and it's not broken, so that's a win. I was mixing my trucks up. I've got more goodies right here. Okay, so the mirrors on it are junk. I'll show you. Well, I probably already showed it, but one of them's just got like a pasty mirror sticking on it. So what he did actually was buy some of the proper Dodge tow mirrors that are electrical. So we'll get those on the truck at some point. But then right back here, oh, love this stuff. That's going in the GMC. Not sure what these are. Maybe for injectors. I don't know. I've never seen that before. But here, this is what I was talking about. I knew I had these. There you go. Look at these little babies. So simple. Copper O-ring. They look pretty gross. But those are the old injectors. Those are worth something. I'm surprised somebody didn't get their core cost back. But nice knowing that there's been proof that injectors have been replaced. And then I don't even have to get an oil filtre when I do my oil change. I already got one. And of course, it's a Mopar unit to replace that Valvoline one that's on there right now. So basically, somebody already did all the legwork for me. Surprised there wasn't a transmission just sitting in the bed already, ready to drop into that bad boy, if you know what I'm saying. I wasn't lying. Just dumped that straight into the Duramax fuel tank. It's about half full. It's probably way more than you need for 38 gallons of fuel, but that's all right. All right. Additional goodies secured. Let me get set up. We'll get under this truck and let's drop a transmission. Okay. Ooh, how does our front drive shaft? It is in neutral. Everything's in neutral right now. So this truck's just sitting on a level surface. Obviously, it's not going to go anywhere. Hopefully. But I'm kind of surprised. I thought, for some reason, I thought Dodge front ends, solid front axles, which, by the way, I love the stabilizing bars and how they did this back in the day. It's money. It's one of the better front ends. I like it. They're beefy, and I mean, these things will take all sorts of power. But I thought for some reason these were always engaged, but this free spins, which is good. But I'm hearing not necessarily slop, but just a whole lot of gearage inside the transfer case, which I don't love. So, all right, someone has been here, which we know. I found a couple loose bolts already from whoever was in here before. I'm missing several bolts that go into the aftermarket transmission oil pan, but I do like that it's an aftermarket transmission oil pan with the cooling vanes. That's nice. What else am I seeing? Not sure what that was. I'll put that off to the side over there. Dipstick is loose. Everything's bolted up to the flywheel housing on the engine. My cooling lines, let's see. Oh, I need to get my crawler. Okay, cooling lines are zip tied. That's interesting, but that's okay. They're easy to get to. I'm gonna grab, here's my shifter, which is disconnected. All right, shifter is completely disconnected. All right, that's fine. I don't, that's all right. Shifter can stay disconnected. I'm not gonna get mad about that. What am I grabbing? I need to stop plucking things. That's insulation. All right. It's supposed to be empty, but we'll go ahead and pop the drain plug here, drop the transmission oil pan, get that out of the way, clean things up heavily with brake clean so we don't destroy my shop floor. And then we got a neutral safety wire down here somewhere. That's maybe that, I'm not sure. The guy was showing me last night. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This whole skid plate and then transfer case transmission support bracket's gonna come off. So we got all the room in the world to work on things. And we'll drop the transmission and transfer case together at the same time. Boy, drive shafts, the bushings and everything look pretty healthy. So do the U-joints. This is supposed to just slide straight out of the transmission, which it should do. It should do. I may have to remove this intermediate bushing down here on the back end because it's an 8-foot bed, it's a crew cab, so it's got the extra long drive shaft. Okay. It's that easy. It's that easy. Well, a guy has successfully removed the transmission and transfer case. I apologize in advance for not filming any of it. Plenty of nice how-to videos out there on the internet for removing one of these 47 REs. But at the end of the day, I think it was 2 supply and return lines. Obviously the shifting linkage, the valve body was already out. Left the torque converter on the engine itself. Removed the forward drive shaft from the transfer case. Dropped the lower drive shaft. I'll show you under the truck here in a second. From the back, so I could slide that out of the transfer case coupler. Disconnected, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sensors. Unplugged a weird vacuum thingy from the transfer case and a vent hose. And yeah, a little bit of shimmying and shaking. Oh, don't forget about the 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thankfully there wasn't one up here. 8 flywheel housing bolts. Those came off pretty easily. I was able to get them all from the back side. Didn't have to get up in the engine to do it. Yeah, and she slid right out. And I'm a little disappointed the transmission doesn't look to be in worse shape. It's actually pretty clean on the inside where everything was lubed and whatnot, but that doesn't mean that someone didn't romp on her and destroy it. So, okay, at this point, I'm unsure if my transfer case works. It actually, it's in gear, but it's making awful noises. I don't know, but it's in gear, so maybe I'll do a self-inspect for the transfer case. and reuse it. Maybe. But for right now, I guess we'll disconnect the two pieces, get the tractor, load them in my truck, and I actually found a shop that is willing to rebuild this specific housing. Where are you guys? You're right here. Come in. So I found a shop local that's going to rebuild this transmission. So I use the same housing, they'll clean it up, new valve bodies, new internal parts, you name it. And then I'm going to investigate whether that transfer case is good or not. It's in gear, like I said. Maybe just the shifting linkage was messed up a little bit on it. But anyway, I mean, here, if I spin this, we have inputage. So, yeah. Okay, under the truck real quick, let me show you. Okay. So, all the room for activities now down here. That is my rear drive shaft. So that literally just slid right out of the end of the transmission housing by dropping the extension bushing, coupler there, which, let me move over, mounted right there, 2 bolts, pretty easy. Good thing, I should have just removed this exhaust pipe out of the way, which I might do for reinstall. It's easy enough to get to. But if we look here, come on, there we go, all my lights. That is my shifter boot for my transfer case. Again, maybe the throw was off, but that thing is in gear and working currently, so I'm gonna have to check that out. I did kind of notice a crack in the housing, so that might be a problem. So I might just get a new one. There's a $600 one on Facebook. So there's that. And then here are all my harness wires. So this was the plug-in for the transfer case. This was unplugged. I'm not sure what it went to. Gonna have to figure that out. It's a ground and a positive wire. Maybe it's the valve body. A few sensors and switches, and then the main, come around here, excuse me, drive shaft. Supply and return lines for transmission cooler. Here's our main shifter linkage that goes to the top of the valve body. A couple harness plugs for that. I think this is the, what is this? What does this do? This is the kick down or something like that for the transmission, neutral safety, something like that. Anyway, another cable, making sure things don't go the wrong way. And then there's our forward drive shaft just hanging out there now. So yeah, I mean, nice torque converter in it. Have to figure out what part that is. There's some of our old, well, firewall material. That kind of needs to go bye-bye. So we'll clean a few things up before we put them back in. But yeah, I mean, all in all, pretty easy install. I'll show you guys putting the whole thing back in, and while it's out, I guess I'll tackle fuel filters and maybe clean a few things up. Yeah, but now, now, oh, and by the way, this one's giving me a hard time, but overnight, this battery charged up all the way. So that's a huge win. But yeah, no, let's get this thing broken in two and loaded in the back of the truck so I can get it dropped off at the transmission rebuilder. And then we'll keep the feet moving and keep messing with other things on this truck. I probably need to officially order some parts. Well, I was quoted $850 to rebuild this transfer case, but unfortunately, Herein lies the problem. Can you see now? Oh yeah, see that? Split, empty, no fluid. Transfer case, go bye-bye. Probably need that off of it, but I'll just get a new one. Or, new to me, used transfer case. Ugh. Put that there for the time being. And yeah, we'll get this loaded up. Well, it would appear we have ourselves a twofer. Got a 45-minute drive to a transmission rebuilding shop just north of Baltimore. They're going to rebuild the transmission using my housing for $2,100. I looked online. Remanufactured transmissions are anywhere from $2,700 to, where am I going? I need to figure out where I'm going first. This is where I'm going. All right. I looked online. Remanufactured transmissions are anywhere from $2,700 to like $6,800 if you want to build one. Rebuilt transmissions online, there weren't too many of them. Those are just kind of more like your remanufactured ones if you were to order something. Facebook Marketplace did have a few, but it scares me. I'm afraid I would end up with a transmission in a similar situation that I have right now, and I don't like unknowns. So if I can have a transmission professionally rebuilt, it'll have a 1-year warranty on it after it's rebuilt, and throw it back in the truck, we're money. We know we have a good transmission that works. We're not going to do anything crazy. We've got the nicer oil pan already, nice torque converter, all good. Transfer case, just north of Baltimore, where I'm dropping off the transmission, we got a transfer case rebuilding shop. Mine is cracked, so I can't use it, but it is a good core. I already spoke with the gentleman on the phone. He's going to meet me at his shop. $965 for him to rebuild a good core that he has. I give him my core, $965. Boom, I've got a rebuilt transfer case. So all that said and done, let's call it a little over $3,000. We're gonna have a rebuilt transmission, a rebuilt transfer case, throw them back in the truck, and theoretically we should have a good running and driving reliable rig, which is exciting. I didn't want to necessarily spend $3,000, but both the transfer case and the transmission will come with a warranty for a year, and I think that adds a lot of value to the truck. So cool, let's go take care of that, get these puppies dropped off right now. I got a little road trip lunch with me, a couple burritos, coffee, some water, some vitamins. We're looking good, feeling good. Well, good morning. It is the next day, and got home from dropping off the transmission and transfer case. Great people, both really nice shops. Really happy with that decision. Turns out it's going to be a little more than I thought. About $3,500 all said and done to have the transmission completely rebuilt with 1-year warranty, as well as the transfer case completely rebuilt with a 1-year warranty. I'm actually going to be getting a different transfer case since my housing on my transfer case is cracked. So the guy's going to pop another one off the shelf, put all new internals in it, repaint it, and I'm gonna have a nice shiny new transfer case and transmission. But anyway, getting back into the truck, we got to keep our feet moving here on this project. So the first thing I'm gonna do this morning, it's about 27 degrees. Unfortunately, things are a little frozen again, but I think what we can do is go ahead and have the oil drain. It's gonna take a while, so I might as well get that started. Got my fancy Garvey drain pan underneath the truck itself, but we'll get the oil draining. And then I went ahead and ordered some parts last night. I got a new dash panel coming, an actual new surround for my gauge cluster, stereo, vents, all that, so that's a win. And then I ordered a bumper, just an original chrome with the black steps on it, so, and well, new bracketry as well. So we'll get that put on when it arrives. It'll be a few days for those to get here. That's okay. The transmission and transfer case are probably going to be about a 2-week turnaround, so I don't expect those anytime soon. So in the meantime, we need to keep ourselves busy. Now, let's see. I got 2 charged batteries. That's fine. Getting that drain plug out is very simple. I'm just noticing, I think I can pull off my, yeah, getting to my drain plug's easy. I'm gonna pull my intake horn off here. Again, I love how simple the setup all is with my turbo oil feed right out of the top of the filter. But yeah, I can take this SB horn off, and then that gives me access to the Valvoline oil filter, and pull that off, put my new Mopar filter on, and then I think I have some leftover 15W40 T4 shell oil. Yeah. How much? I don't know. Okay. I've got 2 gallons. I don't know how much this engine actually takes, but we'll put 2 gallons of the T4 15W40 back into it. Let me look that up real quick. What is the oil capacity of a 5.9 liter 24 valve Cummins? 12 quarts. Easy enough. All right, 12 quarts. Well, I have 8, and I'm sure I've got another one of these lying around somewhere. If not, I can probably cobble together with some different weight oil. Well, the guy's getting real tired of this cold weather. It is just draining, wearing on me. I mean, I'm about done with it. This is absurd. I mean, granted, I've never had to work outside in the winter this much before. I mean, that's actually a lie. I have worked outside in the winter a lot, high school, college, but I was told, oh man, well, my motor bouncer still squishy. Come on. Jesus Christ, who put this oil drain plug on? I'm gonna have to get my cheater bar. Hang on, let me get my cheater bar. Woo! I woke up this morning, my body was a little sore from not using a creeper, crawling around like this. All right, here we go. Oh, unnecessary. Whoever did that, there's no reason why I needed to use an 18-inch cheater bar to pull that drain plug off. Somebody impacted that on. Oh, my fingers are cold. I hate the cold. I hate it. Never again. Heated shop. Heated shop is 100% must have. This is unacceptable. Just had a neighbor walk by, stare at me while I'm talking to myself, talking to you guys. So thanks for that. People probably think I'm crazy. Oh, why is this so hard to remove? Because the gasket's not coming off either. Oh, this is gonna make a mess. I already know it. Yep, okay. What color? Oh, not on my jacket. No. Come here. You know, you try to make all of the steps to do something right, and you still end up making a mess. Drain plug's clean. No metal on it. That's great. I'm gonna have to pop that O-ring off, maybe. Well, why don't we just leave it there? Oil actually looks really clean and it smells good, which is good. That's good to know. I guess I might as well change these fuel filters while I'm at it too. I need to pull my truck down the hill. It's got more of my tools in it. I need that. All right, let me go grab some more tools. Let's see here. Well, that was easy. You weren't even bolted on. Huh. The turbo spins over nice. Let's see if there's any play. Negative. No play. Ah! Another whirly. Come here, whirly. Couldn't get it. Yeah, nice little 1, 2, 3, 7 blade. Whole set. What's the part number? I can't see. Again, it looks aftermarket, which is great. Love that. Love aftermarket parts. All right, one of my favorite tools, the old filter strap wrench. Should be able to get right on here. I have to thread the needle. Which way do I want to go? Lucy. Yep, that's Lucy. Okay, hang on. Again, I should have grabbed my special creeper. Man, why put this filter right here? Oh, that's right, because these engines are supposed to go in tractors, not trucks. Oh well. Well, the creeper is currently indisposed. So, how about we do that? Creeper's really for me. So I don't have to do this, but I'm gonna do it either way. Don't hurt the radiator. Don't hurt it. Don't drop anything. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Fast is I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, there we go. Looped and slooped. Okay. Nice and easy. Oh, so many things in the way. Oh yeah, nice and easy. That's all we need. Just a couple rotations, yeah. Now we can get her by hand. I saw a sticker on the dash that said, come here, 2025, February, that this oil was changed last. Now we all know the sticker is not always right, but I gotta trust it, because I don't know anything else. Valvoline VO64. Make sure our O-ring comes off with the filter. I'm getting close. Come on. Don't drop the filter. Even if you did, it wouldn't go far. Oh boy, I feel like this is... Oh, yep. Always when you least expect it. Clean though. Oh, and guess what? The O-ring's stuck on there, see? Glad I said something. Oh, there we go. Babbling. Smells good. Tastes good. I guess I should probably dump this in my little drain here instead of dumping it in my trash can and then having that go everywhere. Okay. Where's the new filter? Yeah, here it is. Beautiful. New filter's sexy. It's gray. It's got a really long part number. MO 285. But if you don't have that, it's 05082, oh, excuse me, 050-832-8588. Gives you all the directions for how to spin it on. Checking your dipstick, pre-filling, getting it tight, and then spinning it another 3/4. Mo power. Whoa, what was that? I don't know. Let me grab my, whoa, ooh. No, you don't want to stay. Stay. Oh, yes. There is not many better smells than fresh shell rotella. And they give you 2 handles. I love that. Oh, she thick. Everybody thick this morning. Too fast, too fast. Slow down. No reason to go that fast. You gotta let it soak, absorb. Pre-lube the seal while I'm at it. Both sides. You gotta get them lubed on both sides. So lube one side and then we'll flip it over. There we go. Put her in. Does it matter? You guys gonna get mad at me for flipping my O-ring? Alright, hang on, I'll flip it back. Just give me a second. I'll flip her back. Flip her. It's all seated properly. Okay, a little more oil. Huel, as they say in Espanol. Huel? Huel? Right? What's the Spanish version? Siglas. Viscosity, lifelong. Where's the oil word? I don't see oil. Environmental. Release to the, do not avoid release to the environment. We always avoid. Con las cintas de gases. Shear. Optima. Prima. Aceite. Still don't see the word oil. I'm probably really, actually very misinformed on what that word actually is in Spanish. Okay, that's enough of that. Plenty in the filter. It is a great smell. I have always just used Shell. I mean, it's easy to find. You can get it in big old 5-gallon buckets. Now here's the tricky part. Can I balance that, get up here without it tipping over? And denting my AC. Okay. Come here, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, nice and easy. I do not have the ability to spin you on right now. Hang on. She's pretty tight. Why not? We'll give her a little jostle. I actually, the other day, I had my Duramax fuel or oil filter get loose on me. I don't know what I did, but I thought dripping And I went down and grabbed it, and sure enough, it was about ready to spin off. So again, I'm not sure what I did when I installed it, but it's importante to put these things down. That's plenty good. The fuel is still draining, so we're gonna go ahead and do these fuel filters. Oh wow, pretty low on diesel fuel. Just gonna top them off after I get the old ones off before I put the new ones on, but we'll see. Okay, let's get under here. Don't grab the exhaust. My drive shaftage actually looks okay. I'm gonna have to send a picture of that. You see this? My transfer case guy was saying if this yoke has any big wear on it, you need to replace it. I'm gonna send him a picture and ask him what he thinks. It feels pretty smooth, but we will see what his thoughts are. I think it's just dirty right now. I think the previous person just decided that they didn't want to check the transfer case oil levels, and it wore itself out, wore a hole inside. I really need a bucket for this. There's no reason I should be doing this without a bucket. Also, these don't look like they've been replaced since this AirDog fuel system was installed, and I would date that install date 15 years at least. At least 15 years for sure. Okay, we got our drain in position. I'm resting on the front drive shaft. That's exciting. How long? Oh, that was surprisingly easy. Do I even drain this here? Oh, God, it's tough. Does my wrench go that small? Oh, yeah. Oh! That looks like water. No, it's diesel fuel. It's really clean. Yeah, it's fuel. Huh. I mean, you're just gonna drain. No matter what. Yeah, introduced air. As long as I don't create a siphon. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Diesel R AirDog. I like these aftermarket fuel systems. A lot of these old diesels, I mean, this is a high pressure common rail diesel, or at least it should be. I should probably check that. Yeah, this isn't running a P pump. I think this is high pressure common rail. But no, that looks nice and clean. That's good. I dig it. One, I like them because these fuel pumps would wear out. A lot of these older trucks would just run the actual high pressure fuel pump as the actual fuel pump that would draw fuel from the fuel tanks, especially the Duramaxes, would wear them out really quickly. Also lead to some no start situations. So I do appreciate the aftermarket lift pumps. You know, up to, I think, 120 gallons per hour pumps. You get the extra filtres on here as well. I didn't even look and see where the factory filter would have been, if there even was one. God, I hope there was one. Maybe it got replaced by this thing. I don't know. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, these are nice. They're a little pricey. I know Fass makes a good system. Air Dog, obviously, decent system. Whoop. Nice to have. Very nice to have. This feels like it's just siphoning diesel from the fuel tank now. I was going to top these off with diesel, by the way, before I put them back on, so we don't have to sit there and prime them forever. O-rings came off with the filters. Again, I love having parts that I didn't have to order come with a rig that you ought to bought, that you already bought. Feels like cheating. Feels like cheating, but I don't care. Set you guys up there. How about that? Well, got a little bit of diesel. I think my other tank is at my other shop. Oh, yep. Enough for Juan. Is this diesel or kerosene? It's a dangerous game. I think that was kerosene. Interesting. Do I have diesel? Hang on. I know where the diesel is. We're gonna pour these out. Just pretend you didn't see that. Oh look, a diesel jug, labeled diesel. It looks the exact same and smells almost identical. That's diesel. Okay. I didn't put kerosene in them. I would not do that. I love and hate this nozzle. Absorb, damn it. You can tell it's diesel by the way it is. Absorb. Only got a little bit on the floor. Definitely gonna make sure I set this diesel jug next to the kerosene jug that also says diesel, because that's what you do. Okay, I need to set these in position without knocking them over and spilling all the diesel I just poured. Okay, stay. Okay, stay. Oh, nice. Oh. Nice. Uh-oh. How you doing, man? Somebody! Headache! Yep. Let's clean the floor. Clean the floor with it. That's right. Put that back under there. Be useful for later. Getting distracted. Guy's got a little ADHD. Uh-oh, somebody just called me. 2 missed phone calls. I better get to those. I need to tighten my oil drain pan. Oil drain plug. What am I doing? You guys are supposed to come over here. Hang on, come on. Oh, good. Good. Okay, all right. Can you see? Okay. Reverse order. This one looks about 10 years newer than the other one, which means it's built half as well, right? Right. Made in, no idea, the patent's still pending though. Yeah. Yeah. Made sure to get that one dirty. All right. Tapered fittings. Ooh, 2 micron. Why are you being... You all right? It felt funky for a second. It feels all right now though. O-ring's okay. I mean, we'll find out. First time we hit the old ignition switch. Let's clean them up here. Shine them up. I mean, I want to leave a little fuel on them. That's preventative lubrication. Lubrication, cleaner, you name it. Boom. And then our little drain. Yep, okay, drain works. Tighten that back up. See, this one's plastic instead of metal. That's what I'm saying. Not built as well as the previous one. I'll come back and put a date on those in a couple weeks, right? That won't matter. Oh. Alright, real quick while I'm down here, so you guys can see verification that I did it. Stare into the sunlight. Tighten my oil drain plug again. Oh yeah, there we go. Definitely not gonna do what the last guy did and freaking torque this thing with a 18-inch crowbar. Okay. See, that's all you gotta do. All you gotta do. Not too many leaks on this thing. I mean, there's transmission fluid where I removed some cables and whatnot, but ooh, that guy is hanging out of the way nicely. Okay, that's good. All right. Next, this is proof. I tightened my drain plug, and before I let this thing sit for several weeks, and forgetting I added oil, looks great. Not even gonna look inside the valve cover. I do need a funnel though. I underestimated the size of that fill hole, although this is not the best fill tray. Oh, and it's definitely gonna take a long, slow time. Oh God. I need a bigger filter. Or I just removed the valve cover, but then I removed the valve cover and I messed with the valve cover gasket, and then I have to get a new valve cover gasket. And now I have to order more parts, and see how fast that happens? I'll just deal with the slow filter. Maybe if I try this angle. Nope. Still just as slow. Still just as slow. I was just about to say I was going to install this new belt, but I'm glad I read the note. Used. Emergency only. Use only in case of an emergency. We're going to toss that. That's going in the trash. Well, it's gotten a little cold in here, so sorry for the noise. I kicked on the heater. But now it's time to remove this rusty old bumper. I've hit all of our bolts with some juice, and I gotta basically remove this bracket, the bracket on the other side, and then this bumper should come right off. Some wires hanging through here for my hitch, which shouldn't be an issue, but once those are gone, this whole thing should just fall right off the back of the truck, I'm sure, with some stripped out nuts and bolts. I might need some heat. We shall see, but let's wrestle with this rear bumper. And again, this is why it needs to go bye-bye. Just rusted out from years of salt and brine and gross, corrosive road debris. Oh, got it. Woo! Something zip tied. Oh man, what a mess. So here is what's left of the bumper. I'm hoping this is the biggest struggle I'm gonna have with this whole project, was getting off those bolts. If that's the case, I'm happy. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That was not gonna last much longer. But what I'm thinking I have to reuse, which doesn't really look reusable, is that bracket there. I need to look back and see at what I bought, but I may just need to buy a new one of these bumper pull pieces. That's like if you had a ball hitch in the bumper, which you would never want on a heavy duty truck like this. I mean, we got our turnover ball in the bed and our class 4 hitch. So yeah, I mean, 10,000 pounds. I mean, that's probably the max that I'd ever put behind this truck anyway. These motors are really only rated for 500 foot-pounds of torque, 305 horsepower or something like that. I mean, just to put it in perspective, that truck's pushing 500 horsepower and over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque with the tune. So 2021, 2000. That's how far those diesels have come since then. I mean, and there's other diesels that are even making more than that. I mean, I know the Ford is leading the industry right now with 1,200 foot-pounds of torque and 500 and something horsepower. Crazy. All right, let me check my Amazon, see what I actually come in regards to a bumper. You know, I'm always shocked at what the Amazon rainforest has, but you know, you wouldn't think all this stuff is just sitting down there in the Amazon, but I guess it is. This is what I bought. Should be perfect, and if I was looking at the right photos, it comes with, let's see. Yeah, it comes with, I mean, it's a Chinese bumper or wherever the heck it came from. But here, if you look at this photo, I know it's hard to tell. But that right there, I know it's a little, it's not very clear. But that black thing inside there is that bumper pull attachment. This guy right here. So I don't have to take that off, thank God. I don't have to reuse it. I get 2 new of these brackets and bolts. So I'll get a new bracket for this, a new bracket for that. And this guy can just go straight to L trash. Don't need that anymore. Goodbye. That's going bye-bye. Let me show you here the rear frame while it's out. Let me do some cleanup real quick. Come here, take a peek ski. So I wouldn't have bought this truck if the frame wasn't in good condition. That is our frame right there. That is the cross section of the frame. That thing runs all the way along the whole truck, and yeah, it's only about, you know, 1/4 inch steel that's all bent up. Newer frames, yes, they're thicker. Everyone's pretty much gone to a full box frame now. These are your old C-channel style frames, which is fine because they don't rust out as much as the box frames because, well, the box frames hold all your rust and grit inside of them, and you can't really wash them out unless you stick a hose in them. So it's good. We got full frameage, very sturdy, solid bumper pull hitch, as well as the turnover ball end bed. And these right here are where that bumper attached. So I'm probably just going to take the grinder wheel to that, clean that up a touch, hit it with some paint, and then we'll be ready to put the new bumper back on. Same thing over here. That's where that spot went. Nice solid bumper pull hitch. What, four bolts on each side for the bumper pull hitch. We got 5-pin, 7-pin, another 7-pin in the bed. So this all looks good. I'm probably just gonna snip this or cut that and get that off. I'm not gonna put a spare back on here since these are special oversized tires. We got our hangers for our exhaust. Let me throw that back on. Some wiring for lights back here. But like I said, I'm in here. You can see really the frame. Some surface rust, but you know, all in all, it's actually in decent shape. Same with brake lines. That thing might be a wheel bearing going out. I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm contemplating buying 2 new leaf spring shackle holders at the bottom here, clamps, whatever they call those, because mine over here is broken. I'm definitely gonna replace this one. But I need to soak the heck out of those nuts because I need to reuse those nuts, and the shackles are in good enough condition I can reuse those. So I'll go ahead and order that. That way we've got some peace of mind. We've got our control arms back here that are all in good shape. Not sure if parking brake works. We're not going to mess with that right now. I disturbed our axle vent hose. I'm not sure where this thing was, but it has since fallen down now. I think we'll just tuck it right there for the time being. Brake lines look like they're in good shape. This thing move? Oh no, it doesn't. Little shackle holders move. Everything for that hitch looks pretty solid still. It is bolted to L-frame-o. Yeah, I mean, our shock towers are fine. Leaf spring edge is fine. I don't see anything wrong with what's going on down here. Not one bit. This would be a very usable rig for anybody. Oh yeah, you can see where they painted with the undercoating for the body. I mean, heck, if I like this truck enough, I may keep it and just leave the fenders as they are. It just depends. I can't do that. I got to get a new one at least. Problem is, I'm going to paint it with whatever GM or whatever Dodge Chrysler paint code that is, and it's going to look better than the rest of the truck. So I'm going to have to throw tools at it or something, scratch it up. Oh well. All right. Big bumper project complete. That's a win. Now, again, got to keep the feet moving. I'm going to move on to my mirrors here. Pull these old telescoping non-flip up mirrors. I'm not sure when these were standard issue. Maybe they didn't have the big flip up mirrors that we like nowadays, back when these were an option. I mean, still cool, but this is what I was talking about. Somebody put a sticky mirror on it. Hello. Hi. Well, we have a problem. This is a completely different connector, and our base, it's a little bigger than what goes there. That would not work. So I do not feel like cutting custom holes. Oops, sorry, hang on, let me fix my microphone. There we go. Don't feel like cutting custom holes, so we're gonna put you back on and get you a new mirror. There's nothing wrong with these. They look good. They're tow mirrors. Just gotta slide that guy back in. Shoop. Well, all right, I got the dash totally removed and all of the old broken off studs. She ain't perfect, but she's set to receive the new dash panel. So, I mean, that's classic for these. They get brittle in the sun and break off. I saved as much hardware as I could, but there we go. That's my dash. So, new dash en route. I think the next thing I'd like to tackle, I got my mirror back on. That was fine. All good there. I might get a new piece of glass. Who knows? But the next thing I'd like to tackle is this transfer case. Well, actually, it's the front axle locker. So you screw this thing all the way out and then press that button and it locks in. Something like that, and it engages the front axle once you have this thing in four-wheel drive. So it's a locking axle, but the little fitting down here that goes into the axle, oops, is broken. So I need to remove that and see what I can do to fix it, because right now, if you screw that thing out all the way, it still doesn't engage the drive shaft. It just free spins still. So, while we wait, I think that'll be the next project. I don't know if I have to pull this thing all the way out. Maybe I'm supposed to screw it in. I don't know. I've never seen one of these before. Or do you pull on it? Ooh. I don't. Ugh. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. I mean, it spins out, also pulls out with the button again. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna need a new cable for this, unless I can get those threads working on the bottom side. Oh, hey, guess what? It's 50 degrees outside, so I'm happy. Oh, they are little. I'm gonna guess 13 then. Glad I brought that. Maybe 12. Smaller, they're 12. I've been bouncing back and forth between metric and standard on this truck. Believe it or not, built in St. Louis, my old stomping grounds. The plant was actually about 2-3 miles from my house. It's been torn down since then, the old Chrysler plant. But this truck and my Dodge Dakota, you know, any of those Chryslers pretty much up until 2008 came out of that plant, especially trucks and minivans, I think was the majority of things that were built there. So just a fun little history lesson for you there. Another vehicle that came out of St. Louis, just like my 77 Corvette, but everyone has since left. I'm not sure what they did. I think they screwed up the manufacturing process, or just got drove out of town via prices and, you know, the economy and everything. All that. Okay. So I'm just pulling off this faceplate, which, by the way, that was not tight. Neither was that. Am I in the way? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm in the way. Can you see? Hello? Can you see? There you go. Sorry, I was in the way, guys. Alright, here it is. I was under the impression that this was supposed to happen electronically, but I could be wrong with this heavy-duty rig. So yeah, easy enough. Cinch that in and out, and that puts it in and out of four-wheel drive. But this piece is broken off here. Oh, I can even reuse my seal. Happy days. Okay, well, everything looks fine there. I guess let's just pull. Yeah, I'm gonna have to undo these. I'll undo these. I'll undo this side with my wrench, my open-ended wrench. Let me go grab that real quick. Okay, there we go. Oh, she's stiff. The goal is to remove the broken piece off of this fitting and then thread that back onto here and then thread that back in, theoretically. You know, this seems like a minuscule thing. You don't really need 4x4, but it's a big truck. You gotta have 4x4. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have 4x4, then what are you doing? Alright, let's do this the wrong way. Pry this thing off. Oh, yep, there we go. Pried it off. Let's fish you out. Nice and easy, Tiger. Hang on. I need you to rotate. You also reek of gear oil, by the way. Just saying. Not a bad thing. But, ooh, I'm going to take my gasket off. Save that. Come here. Oh, yeah. Boom. Retainer clip. Numero uno. Screwdriver is magnetic. Spin you around and around this dance floor. Get you drunk. Yep, there we go. Winning. Good job, you landed right by your friend. Okay, now the easy extraction. I'm gonna have to look back at you guys on the camera and remember which way this thing was facing. Obviously this was like this, but I think this was or like this. I'll have to look back at the camera to figure that out. Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Well, I think I just need a new one of these because there's no getting this off. Unless I can unthread this with a wrench. Let's see. You know what? What am I doing? Just cut it. Just cut it off. Cut. See? Oh. Bye-bye. Now this should just pull. Oh, Lord. Of course. Got him. Now it doesn't want to go back out. That's what we were hung up on in the firewall. Okay. Trash. Actually, I might need that for length purposes. Well, here's something that wasn't stock, which I thought. I guess there's a vacuum system that is stock on these trucks. But it looks like the kits are only about $45. So I think we're going to go ahead and order one of these. It comes with all the parts, pieces, new gaskets, all that. And get that headed this way. I'm just going to use the cable, but it'll be nice to have no matter what. Well, while I'm waiting on some parts, I'm just sitting here going through receipts that came with this truck. And guys, I mean, previous owners spent some serious money on this thing. This is the receipt for the 6 Falcon LT 315/75 R16s, $2,100 in wheels. So all 6 in tires, sorry. Let's see, the alloy style 167 aluminum wheels for the front and rear. For those, special lug nuts, ceramic coating. Spent $3,500 on tires back in January 2023. Wheels and tires. That's the shipping for it. That's a $80 or $180 worth of batteries in 23. I've got a full invoice here for $3,700 to install a 3.5-inch lift kit, Mount the dualies and tires provided. Mount the tires, balance the tires, valve stems. He did both ball joints, tie rod ends, front driver's side's tie rod end, steering tie rod end, wheel bearing and hub assemblies, 2 of them. Let's see, in the next page there was, what else? Put some wheel spacers on the back for the duals. Yeah, I mean, he spent, that's, okay, there we go, $3,720. So almost $4,000 for the lift kit and tires, plus the tires themselves. So that's, you know, that's over $7,000 right there. What else we got? Inspection, maybe? Oil change. That was the oil change we were talking about that happened in February 2025. So new filter oil. Anything else? Oh, they replaced the rear diff fluid. Shocking. Okay. That's good to know. I'll check that fluid. All right, now we're getting into more of the stuff that I thought had been done. So let's see here. New disc brakes, new brake lines, drums and rotors, brake shoes, brake calipers, diff fluid, rear seal, front passenger U-joint. Jeez, when was this done? Is there a date? 2019. Man, $2,500. What else we got? Turbo gasket set, whole set, oil inlet, outlet. Is this just a gasket set, or did they do a whole turbo? It looks like they just did the oil seal. 2016. Oh boy, is this what I think it is? Hang on. Yep, here we go. 24 valve engine turbocharger. From, what's the brand? Does it say it here? 2016. So 10 years ago, a turbo was put on the truck. That's what I thought. $1,200 for a new turbo. Wicked wheel. That's all it says. I guess that was to get it installed. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, there has been a turbo put on it. So that's another couple $1,000. I have a feeling we're going to get to injectors here in a second. Let's see, 2019. Brakes, stud. All right, this was just some brake and tire work. Man, I love having all the receipts. Power steering fluid. Replaced power steering pump. Wow. Okay, they spent $1,800 to replace the power steering pump back in 2017. Crazy. This thing has had some serious work done. I'm shocked. Old insurance card. This thing was up in New Jersey at one point. Probably toss that. Get rid of that. Yeah, old insurance card. What else do we got? Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, this must all be related. There's no way brakes and drums have been replaced multiple times in the last 50,000 miles. I could be wrong, but they put new axles or new bearings in the rear axles. What year? 2017. Okay. Sorry. What else do I have? This is the Pioneer head unit, and then I've got 2 booklets for maintenance. Maintenance logs from Edson Farm. You see that? Look at that. That is a thick collection of receipts. This is incredible. I love having histories history for trucks like this. I mean, so let's just say in the last 10 years, this thing has had $10,000-$12,000 spent on it in aftermarket upgrades, as well as maintenance, brakes, bearings, U-joints, tie rod ends, steering, new tires, new wheels, lift kit, new turbo, injectors. I'm sure that injector receipt is in here somewhere. The tune added, the Pioneer head unit. So this thing has been upgraded and modified a lot, which is very encouraging. A lot of value in the truck, and now it's going to have a transmission that's been rebuilt, a new transfer case. It's getting a new transfer case. I just got off the phone with the guy. The case isn't usable. He's got to rebuild it, and then we're also going to do a new yoke, an input yoke for the transfer case. So we'll have a new U-joint pressed into a new yoke that's going to go into the transfer case so we don't blow out our bearing and seal on the new transfer case. And then, yeah, some new parts should be showing up any day here. I just finished taking off the old leaf spring U-bolts and brackets, which basically just crumbled with rust. So we've got new U-bolts on the way, 15 and 15.75 inch U-bolts with brackets. This truck's getting a lot of new parts and has already gotten a lot of new parts. Well, the last note in this booklet is when they added the manual front axle activator cable and routed it through the dash. Changed the transmission fluid. It's irrelevant at this point, but this is 2013. Replaced rear wheel cylinders, rear brake shoes. Wow. I mean, they really cared for this truck. And I've got another one over here. Yeah, here you go. Shell Rotella 15W40. There's our Mopar oil filter. Diesel Power Plus products, power steering fluid, transmission fluid, Air Dog fuel filters every 20,000 miles. Wow. Jeez, this is starting in 07. My goodness. Wow. 2010, they replaced the injection pump. Exhaust system, 2010, that seems about right. Installed steering stabilizer bar, that's a common upgrade. And what else that's big? Installed gooseneck hitch in 2011. So the truck was 11 years old with 110,498 miles when they installed the gooseneck. Transmission service, reroute cable. Truck sold 2014. So 2007 to 14 somebody owned it. 14 they kept taking notes. 2014, cut out rust, welded in-body patches, installed front fender flares. Okay. Replaced the windshield. Batteries, 122,000 miles. Coolant system. Replaced transmission pressure governor. Injector clean. Replaced injector 4. New wheel hub in 2014. Replaced shocks. Truck sold in 16. New notes, new handwriting. Let's see. Air Dog fuel system. Here we go. 2016 is when they installed the SB intake elbow. Installed fuel pressure gauge. Replaced filters. 2016, June, 127,000 miles. Installed new whole set turbo. with wicked wheel impeller. Wow. (2022) new brakes front and rear, 151,000 miles. Sold 2022, 158,000 miles. January 2023. Rebuilt transmission. This is where it happened. So this is, I was told it was upgraded, rebuilt, changed the oil, and that's it for notes, is November 2024. And we have receipts from 2023 with the upgrades for the leveling kit, the tires, the wheels, bunch of other stuff. So wow, this truck has been loved its whole life, and I feel very lucky to have it and to continue taking care of it, to replace the transmission, replace the transfer case, make a few upgrades to some rusty parts, fix the dash. This is cool. I'm happy to own this truck, and part of me really wants to keep this truck when I'm all said and done with the repairs. So, normally you don't get to know this much about the history of a vehicle. Just, I don't know. Makes me wonder if I should really keep this rig because of how much it has been loved and looked after. We'll see. Alrighty. We got parts, at least the first batch. Dash cover and the new panel and vents that are going to go on the, I guess, front face of the dash. But what I have here wasn't exactly what I thought I ordered. This is just a cover for the existing dash. I'm going to put this in, see how I like the fitment. But again, this is just a cover as if your dash was there. I have removed every piece of the old dash. So, problem with that is if I install this, there's literally no fasteners or hardware holding it down. So I might actually, this came as a kit, I might actually just keep this and then buy a new physical dash with hardware. I know that's gonna be more expensive, but I think it'll look better and fit better on the truck itself. So let's climb up in here and just see, I guess, how this fits on top of what I have currently to see what it looks like. Ugh. I'm told that the rear bumper and my new front axle shift is supposed to be here today as well. So that's exciting. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, first impressions is it's not perfect by any means, but it does quote unquote cover the dash. Yeah, I don't love it. I'll keep it, I guess, as a cover, but I don't like it at all. I want a legit dash panel. Oh, I saw this coming. All right. Well, let's pull it out. Again, I mean, you guys can see it flexing. It's just a cheapo dash cover. That's all right. Try again. Let me get on Amazon and order a legit one. All right, well, instead of the $100 dashboard and cover, I purchased the $300 complete dashboard and the proper color. So I got that heading this way. I think I'm tapped out on parts now. I really want to buy any more parts for this rig than I really need to. I do want a new mirror cover for this, but this is kind of an oddball-y mirror. Has a mirror already. It's a budget build. We're gonna leave it for now. So keep the feet moving. I'm gonna go grind down those spots on the rear frame and prep them for a bumper, because I'm told a bumper is supposed to be arriving today. Well, parts have arrived. I got my new rear leaf spring bracket shackles, and I've got new 15.75 inch U-bolts on the way. Those should be here any minute. These are the old ones. This one wasn't the bad one. That one was the bad one, which I'm really hoping this is the original bracket, because this lift kit was put on 3 years ago. If these things are already rusted out like that, because I know those aren't the original length, that's a problem. So I got all new hardware coming with the new U-bolts, so these can go in the trash. The other kit, we got our new shifter, which looks much less intrusive and bulky than the last one, which I kind of like. So there we go, we got our front axle shifter. No issues, looks a little better quality than the last one. It even came with the new gasket and housing if we need it. I'll look at the other housing. The other housing looks a lot nicer though, so I think I'm gonna stick with the original housing and sensor mount, because all that looks okay. I think we'll just have to use this cable. So great. And then I got a bumper. I just picked up the bumper off my front porch, and it weighs twice as much as the old bumper did. I wonder why. Brackets, new chrome, new structure for the bumper. Boy, that was well worth the $135 or whatever it was. Man, boy, it's gonna look nice. Let's get that thrown on the truck. Not bad. I like how that turned out. And overall, I mean, I'll put a link in the description for this stuff, but minus my fingerprints, which are everywhere right now, it's a pretty nice bumper. A lot better than what was on there. If we get down here real quick, hang on. You can just see, I mean, it's quality, nice metal, nice welds, decent hardware. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that all turned out. Yeah, it's pretty straight. All right, now we're moving on to the front axle kit. wasn't too bad. Got her installed. Got my shift indicator back on, and a few more threads engaged. I adjusted the throw a little bit better than it was before, and I got my cable ran back up into the cab. Let's hop up there real quick. She's not going to throw in out of gear right now because the front axle splines aren't aligned. Sorry about my heater. Let me shut that off for a second so you can hear. But right in here, here's my little knob. Right now it's kind of just in the middle of where it needs to be, but it's a push and pull or a push and a push for in and out. And of course, engaged is a push and a pull, and then disengaged is a push and then a push. So pretty much as that's sitting right now is disengaged. And then obviously as your front axle spins, you're able to push that and engage it the rest of the way. But now I got a big wrench. I'm just tightening my fancy nut, so that way this thing is installed and I don't have to touch it anymore. Done, installed. I'm happy. This panel could use a little more securing, but we'll wait till I put the rest of the dash in to worry about that. Well, just got off the phone with the shop. Transfer case is done, but we're still waiting on transmission to finish up. And just to give you a little update on transfer case, the builder will not warranty the transfer case with the condition that this spline is currently in, or sorry, this yoke is currently in. It's a little pitted on the end here, and then it's got grooves worn into it. So I bought a new U-joint. He's gonna sell me a new yoke, but he's gonna, when I pick up the transfer case, he's gonna press out this old U-joint, get rid of this yoke, put the new yoke on, press in the new U-joint there, and then this drive shaft will slide right back up underneath the truck. Right, yeah, right in there. So pretty easy, a little bit of a detour, but necessary to keep the warranty on the transfer case and not burn out any seals or bearings on the new transfer case. So that's a win. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna be waiting another week to go pick up those parts because they're in the same location. They're over an hour away from me. So it doesn't make any sense because I gotta put the transmission in first anyway, and then I'll put the transfer case on after that. So I think for the time being, gonna go get a quick bite to eat for lunch and wait for those U-bolts to show up. We got U-bolts. They look to be just in slightly better condition. Than the old ones. So, perfect. All right, we'll get these things thrown onto the rear leaf springs so I don't have to worry about the truck falling off the rear leaf springs anymore. All right, not bad. Fit up fine. Shackles, perfect width, perfect length. Actually had a little extra, which is great. I got them centered how I like over the leaf spring. So yeah, we'll run the truck around once things are put back together and then re-torque it all. I rattle canned a few things while I was at it. Got that guy all painted up. Rebuilding, hitting the important things like my hitches. Still can't get that ball to turn over. I think I'm gonna have to zip tie the lever arm over to the side. I tried hitting it with a hammer and soaking it with PB Blaster, but it didn't do anything. So I think I'm gonna have to get my loader tractor, once this thing's out of here, come in here and try and lift upward with a few 100 pounds of force. See if that thing will start sliding out of there. Hot take, but I need to clean it up, and I wish people would leave them up. I understand that's a pain in the butt when you're trying to use your bed for other things, but this is the problem with turnover balls, is they get rust welded in place. All right, check it. We got a dashboard that arrived. It's not installed yet. I just started test fitting it, and pretty happy with the quality. It's very thick, which I like. I just need to figure out the best way to get this thing on here. That's making an awful noise, I'm sorry. Well, clearly the HVAC ducting was installed on this panel before it was set into the truck. I don't know if they assembled this whole dash together or what. Sorry for the noise. I got my heater running. It's really loud, but boy, once you put this in, it doesn't really want to come out. There we go. So I guess let me pull this out real quick. Hey, sorry. I'll show you on the bottom. We've got all these little like bungs and fittings, and that's where screws went in on the back side of the HVAC ducting and held the ducting on. Now, I'd like to do that again. However, that requires me pulling my HVAC ducting out, which seems complicated. However, I want to do this the right way. I don't want to just half-ass this. So let me see if a little poking and prodding will allow me to pull all the HVAC, pull these guys out of the dash, and then attach it to the back of this, and then put it all in one foul swoop. You'll even see here the metal brackets that hold it in. They've got a little post here as well, because that's where that screws in here. So let's see if we can do this the right way. Well, I've made a discovery, and that is, to do this the right way, I would have to remove the entire dash. Can I show this to you? See that? The whole dash is one piece that obviously in the production line, it's got assembled on a substation and then was set into the truck probably before they even put the windshield on. So I'm not doing that. I'm gonna put the dash in to the best of my ability. It's gonna be missing some fasteners on the back side holding these HVAC pipes to it, but that's okay. My important ones that hold it on are actually five big fasteners on the top here, and then a bunch of tiny fasteners across the front that hold it all in place. So I got all my fasteners here in my glove box. I kept them all. I guess I'll pull all those out and get my little impact drill and put it all back one by one after I get this dash in a good enough position that I like. Fitment wise, I may have to start installing fasteners just to get it to lay down proper, because it's a plastic molded part. It's never going to fit perfectly until you sit there and massage it a little bit. So let me grab all this stuff out of here. I'll have to remember where all the fasteners went. All I know is I have four big long ones that are my main support up top, and a bunch of small ones. I'm glad I saved it all, because the new kit doesn't come with new fasteners. Go figure. Cummins. Is that it? Seems like everybody. All right, perfect. Well, I just finished up the dash install. I'm doing some final wire running for my trailer brake controller, my Smarty tuner. Missed. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I had to modify this slightly so my Pioneer would stay. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. This is a new bezel with my HVAC, which is in better shape than the old one. So that's all good there, kind of. The dash, very happy with. I was able to get all the hardware in its original locations. I'm happy with how the vents are spaced. And overall it looks pretty factory, minus, I mean, all the gauges and stuff that have been added in here. There's a Smarty tuner up on the dashboard. I even was able to fix a few spots with some broken hardware in all this. So all in all, really happy with how the dash turned out. I finish up hiding some wires here. I might be able to tuck them back behind whatever the heck this is. Yeah, I think we're done on the inside. I'm happy with how all this turned out. Yeah, nice quality dash. I'll put this link in the description if you guys need a dash for your second gen. I believe this works for 1500, 2500s, and 3500s. They were all pretty much the same. So, well, it's side quest time. I just got off the phone with both my shops. Transfer case is done, transmission is done. But here is the verdict about said transmission. As you can tell, this is an upgraded torque converter. I was told, and by reading those notes that we looked at, the transmission was rebuilt in 2022 or 2023, something like that. So not a long time ago, 3 years ago. Upgraded torque converter. The transmission shop is telling me that the torque converter, it looks like it just trashed itself. Because inside the transmission, there weren't any large components that failed. No component failure, just a bunch of really dirty fluid, lots of metallics and whatnot. So they replaced everything inside the transmission, and as a bit of insurance, we must replace this torque converter. So I bought a new torque converter. I believe it's like the DRM1, up to 950 foot-pounds of torque, from Thoroughbred Diesel. I know XDB or XDP sells one. There's lots of places online, but I bought an aftermarket. I'll put the link for it. Single disc billet torque converter, slightly beefed up, rated for a low stall. I don't need a high stall. We're not racing this truck or anything. I actually want to be able to tow with this truck. So it actually, I believe, will engage 150 RPM lower than a stock torque converter, if I read that right in the description. But anyway, this one has to come off. And I'm going to take the new one when I pick up the transmission to the transmission shop, and they're actually going to engage and set the torque converter for me on the transmission. And that way, when I put the transmission up to the flywheel housing here, all I have to do is torque the torque converter to the flywheel and then install, well, I'll have already installed all of my flywheel housing, bell housing bolts to the transmission. So anyway, at this stage, we did it. We finally got to the point where transfer case can go back into the truck. I've been looking forward to this for a while. It has been truly a couple weeks in filming this video. Well, a guy pulled the starter off just to find out there were 3 bolts, 10mm, holding the starter on. Great, got that off, hung down fine. And then couldn't access my torque converter bolts. Weird. So it turns out there was a access plate, as there should be, engineered to 10mm on the, if you're looking at it from the back, right side. So right back up behind here. And if you peek in there real quick, yeah, there's access right here. Hopefully you can see that, to get to each bolt. And then boom, I just rotated this from the crank up front with my breaker bar. It was really easy, and was able to get all 6 of those 16mm or 5/8. I think one of them was rounded off a little bit. So yeah, got my starter back in, no casualties. Here's my flex plate, which literally is a flex plate. Some guys beef these up, but no need. I'm gonna be towing with this truck, so I'd rather this have some flex to it. So everything looks good here. Come check out my torque converter. CR70X is the number on the back. July 2022, this thing was manufactured. So I looked it up real quick, and it appears it's a CR70X S1, low stall, 750 foot-pounds capacity. Or actually no, rated for 550 foot-pounds capacity. In this configuration is low stall, 2,000 RPM for the 47RE. It is a low stall, heavy-duty remanufactured unit, billet cover. So honestly, kind of happy that that thing is out of the truck now. Again, I think somebody went hot rodding in this rig and blew up torque converter, transmission, and transfer case. I mean, even the output shaft in the transfer case was blown, according to my transfer case guy. So somebody hot rodded this truck. Unfortunately, 35-inch, 12.5-inch wide tires, especially dualies, on the back of a 47RE is not a recipe for being hot and heavy on your pedal. So anyway, that's what we've learned. Update before we get everything thrown back in. New torque converter on the way. Like I said, good for 950 pounds, single disc, low stall, billet front cover, a little more heavy duty than what was in there. Transmission rebuilt, all new internals, same housing, brand new transfer case, all new internals. I'm a little over budget, so I had to spend an extra $650 on a torque converter. Transmission was $2,100, that's fine. Transfer case, I had to buy a $30 universal joint, an extra $150 on a new yoke, and I spent $1,450 on the transfer case since my housing was cracked. So we'll do the math real quick. All right, $5,400 purchase price plus $130 for the bumper plus $280 for the dash plus $150 for the AC vent cover and dash cover that I accidentally bought, but that's okay. What else? $50 in oil and gear case oil. Filters came with the truck. $2,100 for the transmission. $1,450 for the transfer case and the new yoke. $30 for the universal joint. What am I missing? Transfer case, $655. It was actually $695 with shipping. Or torque converter, excuse me. Yeah, what else did I buy? Is that it? Oh, the shackles in the back. Yep. That was, I think 65 plus, whoops, plus 55. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, grand total. There you go, $10,405 spent total on this rig just to get it back to running and driving, and I still need to install the transmission. So $10,405. I would say, I looked these up already. It's gonna be $450 a side or something like that. And then obviously I'm gonna have to repaint them and put them on. So if we include the bed dually fender flares, that's another $900. We'll call it $11,000 and change to get this truck into running and driving condition, looking good again. And I'm probably gonna spend some more money just cleaning it up and making it look nice overall. But I mean, for a 1-ton diesel pickup that's been modified, you know, it's probably making about hopefully 350 horsepower, 700 foot-pounds of torque with the tune. That's a decent price. I mean, $11,000 to buy that truck in this condition with all the things that I've done. You're probably looking at, it's got 185,000 miles. So, and a brand new transmission, transfer case, torque converter, a bunch of nice stuff done to it. Yeah, this is a, call me crazy, but $17,000 to $20,000 truck to the right person, especially with the aftermarket tires, wheels, the upgrades to the engines. Yeah, so I think value well spent. Let's race to the home stretch here, get the final big components back on it, and let's hear this thing fire up. Exciting! Check it out. That is a fully rebuilt, new casing and housing transfer case. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, 4 low, 4 high, obviously. This is a 241 DHD, I believe. But anyway, you can see on the back here, Mopar, same manufacturer for all these. They make them for GM as well, but Ram used them too. Anyway, it turns out the planetary gear in here was completely blown up, and actually from the input to our output for 2-wheel drive was exploded. So this thing was having more problems than just a transmission. So I'm glad I got that one rebuilt. So brand new 1-year warranty on that. And then here's our new rebuilt. So same housing, all new internals, the transmission shop, reused oil pan, which is heavy duty. We got our new torque converter set on there. I was talking about it earlier, that's good for up to 950 foot-pounds. Ready to go on our flywheel. I got it strapped down on my jack here so we can lift it up. We'll start with our 8 bolts for the bell housing. Get that lined up. We got our guide pins on the side there, so it's the same housing. It should go up nicely. And then once that's bolted up, we'll spin the engine around and get all of the torque converter bolts mounted in through our access plate, just like we did pulling the old one out, which is over there on the floor. I can't forget there's a little strap right here that's holding the torque converter in. I need to pull that off right before I mate this to the engine. Right before that, I took a flush tool and flushed all my transmission cooler lines with new ATF fluid. So I made a huge mess. I just cleaned all that up. I flushed all my lines. So we're clean. Everything's clean. It's new fluid will go into the transmission once it's in. What other goodies do I have? Oh, over here. The last thing, so I can keep my warranty on my transfer case. We got a warranty on the transmission too for a year, but new drive shaft U-joint and yoke that slides into the back end of the transfer case. The transfer case guy wouldn't warranty the transfer case unless I put a new yoke on my drive shaft. So there we go. Did everything right. Didn't cut any corners. He pressed my new U-joint in properly. I got to grease this up. I can't forget that, but I'll grease everything up. All right, it is officially moment of truth time. Wow, hard fought battle, but we got the new transmission in. That was actually easier than the transfer case. Hindsight 2020, I would have mated the two together first and then used two jacks to pick them up. However, I thought that sliding the transmission in would be easier just by itself, which it was, but it made the transfer case painful. Anyway, we got all that done. Really happy we did things right. I was having a discussion with the transfer case guy when I picked it up. No, I didn't necessarily want to spend that kind of money, but because of the catastrophic failure that happened with the planetary gear inside the transfer case, I mean, that caused all sorts of problems with this truck. This is good. We got warranty on the powertrain for a year, rebuilt transmission, beefier torque converter, rebuilt transfer case, a new yoke for the drive shaft, new universal joint back there. I've replaced all the fluids in the axles. Transfer case guy told me to use 5W30 engine oil, fully synthetic, so that's what's in the transfer case for the 241 DHD manual shift. Now we're at the point, again, fuel filters are done, engine oil's done. It's time to start it. I just put the exhaust on, which was fighting me a little bit, but we got it. And, I bought a bunch of ATF plus 4 fully synthetic Valvoline transmission fluid. And what I need to do, I need to get that pump in the transmission turning in neutral. So what I believe, I have the transfer case in too high right now. I got a wood block behind the rear dualies back here. We're gonna open the garage door. I've had my charger on the batteries overnight. I think the batteries are cooked, so I'm gonna have to replace those anyway. But yeah, let's try to fire this thing up, see if it runs, fingers crossed. Voltage, oil pressure, fuel pressure, oil pressure, power steering. Oh, we got gearage. That's neutral. That's supposed to be drive. Park. Reverse. Neutral. I got no gears right now. But I have oil pressure. Low washer fluid, great. Lights. Boy, this thing is stinky. It's in neutral. Oh yeah, she's sucking oil. This is exciting. Shut it off real quick, and then we're gonna add oil. Boy, that was winning. I swear for a second I felt reverse, but it just sucked all of its fluid out. Let me now check it real quick again. I put 8 quarts in, but again, I don't know how much was in there. It said when they're completely empty, plus a torque converter, they take 17 quarts. No leaks so far, which is fantastic. Again, I have the block here behind the tire, which it did not load up on. I do believe I have brakes. We are now up to 12 quarts that I've added, and she needs more oil. I shouldn't call it oil. Fluid. Oh yeah. All right. Let's go for it. We're gonna add 4 more quarts. ATF 4. ATF plus 4. Whatever the plus 4 means. I could take the time to figure it out and tell you guys, but you know what? I'm not worried about it. It said 17. We're gonna see if it's right. Every time I put it in gear, you can feel it pump, and then boom, goes right in and out of gear. So we're getting there. It's just low on fluid right now. Remember, automatic transmissions are just big fluid pumps. Then you got your flex plate, your torque converter. Spin it up, you get RPM, create hydraulic pressure. Hydraulic pressure drives truck. But then you and your boosty boys turn these horsepower machines up too high, and then old hydraulic pump transmission no longer wants to pump the hydraulics. Oh! I got cocky. All right, that is quattro, 12, 16. 16 quarts. Good thing I got a 17th. Let's let that drain. Grab my... Actually, I've taken back what I said about the batteries. I don't think I'm gonna have to put new batteries in it. I think it's gonna charge and it's all gonna work flawlessly. Truck. Just getting the truck. Dome lights. That's a nice touch. I need step sides. Okay, key. Fuel pumpage. Fires right up. Oh, we got lights. Oh yeah. Wow, even these gauges are backlit. Somebody's fancy. Okay, alright. Nice, that's cool. Blower doesn't work. Maybe I have to turn it on. Oh, yep, blower works. I'll turn that back off. Nice. Alright. Thinks I'm in 4-wheel drive right now, but I'm not. Alright, reverse. Oh yeah. Neutral. Drive. Oh yeah. Neutral. Ooh, she's strong. It's a good thing I have brakes. Let's go reverse again. Oh yeah. Yep. Drive. Back to neutral. Park. Ooh. Oh. Look at you guys. Oh. A couple of you are unhappy. It sounds good. Also, I think I'm gonna mess with my tuner. I don't know what level this thing's on, but I really don't want to blow up my brand new transmission and transfer case on the first rip. Not a hot rod. I want to be able to tow heavy things with it comfortably as a dually. That was exciting until it started to take off. I think it was high idle. Yeah, like 1200 RPM. Boom, there we go, level 1. I like that. Neutral, drive, neutral, park. Now that's how a truck should sound. That is definitely how a truck should sound. Wow, I'm in love. I actually love it. Now I need to move my stuff so I can get it out of the shop. Alright. That's reverse. Neutral. She's in too high right now. Forward. Neutral. Sounds good, looks good. I'm thrilled. We're getting 10 miles to the gallon right now. The bumps into and out of gear are a little rough, but I think if we can get around and start rolling, and then, you know, let's do like a quick hot lap, come back, check fluids and levels, and if we need to top off anything, we can, especially if checking for leaks and whatnot. But I just got my skid plate on underneath the transmission and transfer case. I do have some parts coming from SPE Lab. We're gonna put their intake, cold air intake on the truck since this one's missing a bunch of pieces, and replace the head bolts from the actual bolts and stud it, which will be a nice little additional video. But now it's time to go get some license plates for this thing and some insurance and take it for a ride. All right, this thing has come a long way in the last, 3 weeks? I brought it home middle of February, and it's the first week of March right now. So here you go. The 2000 Dodge Ram 3500 with the 24 valve Cummins, 185,000 miles, rebuilt transmission, rebuilt transfer case. They both might as well be new at this point. Both come with a year warranty, new drive shaft yoke, new rear bumper, new rear leaf springs, U-bolts, and brackets. Boy, what else did we do? New dashboard. This truck has the longest list of maintenance records that I have ever seen on a vehicle that I have personally owned, all the way back to 2007. Extensive records and information on what all has been done to this truck. And just by looking at it, I mean, in the last 5 years, this truck has had over, after me, $16,000 spent on it. That's crazy. So what I'm gonna do, I just finished getting the transmission fully plumbed last night. So it ended up with the bigger oil pan that's on the transmission. It ended up taking, I think, 18 to 19 quarts of oil, and in neutral, when it's warm, it is sitting perfectly on the dipstick for the transmission. So we're all set there. I did take it for a hot lap last night. We'll go for a quick ride here at the end of the video. But honestly, I'm gonna go take the title, register this truck, and put it on the road and drive it for a little while. I know we talked about selling the truck. I still think that's in the cards. I do want to replace these DUALLY fender wells at some point, fender flares, whatever you want to call them. They're like $450 a piece. I will buy them and get them replaced and paint things up, but that'll have to wait for another day. You know, based on market data and what's out there, I've been looking at these trucks a lot. For the 24 valves, obviously everyone wants the manual transmission. What's nice about this 47RE, it has been rebuilt, it's been beefed up a little bit, and it has a year warranty, which is very nice for somebody looking to tow things or just have a reliable work truck. So numbers wise, I mean, there's nothing crazy about this. This is not a perfectly non-rusty, beautiful rig. It has issues, but it's had a lot of good stuff done to it as well. So when I list it, I'll probably sell it for $16,000 is a fair number. You guys can tell me I'm crazy, but in all honesty, that's what this truck's worth. There is way too much money into this rig that so many people have collectively done to keep it in this working, good, reliable condition, that, you know, it's not a 400,000 mile Cummins. It's a 185,000 mile Cummins with brand new transmission, brand new transfer case, all sorts of new parts, and a ton of maintenance records. I mean, we're talking wheel hubs, brake lines, rotors, calipers, you know, axle fluids changed consistently every 15,000 miles. I mean, that's crazy. No one does that. So, cool truck, cool rig. I like it. I need to fluid film the frame and all that. But anyway, enough of me babbling. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let's fire it up. It's about 44 degrees right now, so technically, I guess this will be a cold start. She is noisy. These are loud trucks. So here we go. Let's fire this bad girl up. I will say the power locks are pretty mint. Also, I'm digging the smell that this thing has in the cab. All right, here we go. Oh boy. Are you dead? All right, round two. Put a charger on it for a while. I found a, let's just call it aftermarket wire plugged into a fuse that has since been removed. So no more battery drain. Still might need new batteries, but we'll see. And I need the keys. What am I doing? I'm all over the place, I'm sorry. Let's try this again on her not Craigslist side. Sorry. It is the exhaust side though. All right, 40 amp boost. Here we go. Happy truck, happy truck. Fuel pump. And release the beast. Yeah. Now we're talking. Yeah, boy. Low on washer fluid. Damn it. Oh yeah. Listen to that. Yeah. Yes, you guys can come too. Come on. Come on, let's go. America. Yeah. It's a sweet rig. I mean, come on. Gotta love it. Turn you off. What up? Alright, let's take this girl for a rip. Wallet? No wallet? I don't have license plates on it, so. No wallet, right? Nah, we'll be fine. Oh, okay. I'm in the truck. So, we are in two-wheel drive, but it thinks it's in four-wheel drive. I think the little pressure sender on the transfer case is incorrect. Very pleasant in here. Stop trying to high idle. Nobody wants you to do that. Breakage. Neutral. Drive. Blah, 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 blah. She's got a big girl rear end. Oh, yeah. We're just gonna go shift some gears. Drive around the old block. Yep. First, second, third. Not really on a highway or anything, so. It feels like I'm driving a damn tractor. There we go, a little downshift. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, this is where I want to go. Oh yeah, breaking those brakes again. Yeah. Oh, only a little wheel rubbage. Dang it, I didn't even check my boost gauge. Oh, I just spun you, I'm sorry. I was doing some turnage. Boy, she's a 1 ton. It's definitely stiff. We'll do a little turnage action here. God, the duals, look at this. Look how far the duals stick out beyond the fender. You see that? All right, here we go. You guys can watch gauges and whatnot this time. I'm gonna pay attention to the road. She shifts at about 1800, 1900 RPM. Feels pretty solid. Let's go in reverse real quick. Good breakage. Neutral. Forward. A little clunky on the forward shift. I'm not sure. It is a brand new transmission, so. My smarty giving me all sorts of data over there. All right, here we go. Blinker. Wait for this car to pass. I've got my tow mirrors deployed, of course, because we're ghost hauling back there. Here we go. Nice, easy. Second. Third. Coming up on a turn, braking. God, it drives like a tractor. Now there's a BMW in my way. No policia, por favor. This is our exhaust gas temperature, by the way. Does she drive straight? Seems like it. Alright, I'm going around the block. First, second, 6 pounds boost. Third, £10 of boost. I don't think I can get enough speed to get up to fourth right now. Oh, there was a nice little shift. I like it. All systems nominal. First impressions, very good. I got 45 PSI oil pressure. She's charging 14.2 volts right now. We just broke 150 degrees. I've had the thermostats open already. Seats are really comfortable. Got my electronic seats here. Here we go. All right, good low end torque. Let's try and get fourth gear here. Third, fourth, brakes are good, steering's good. Slow this tractor down. Bye-bye. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. She's got torque. Good girl. Very good girl. And guess what? We didn't get pulled over. That is the most important thing. Well, I'd say that's a win, folks. Oh, we're low on fuel. We got 1/8 of a tank left. That's all right. Let's back this big girl in. No, that's a total win. I'm happy with how this thing is shifting, braking well. It is just a big rig. Oh yeah, plenty of torque. I bought one of those laser thermometers, so we're gonna shoot the trans after it runs for a while. Wow, I shouldn't have said that. I'm not going to shoot the trans. I'm gonna point a laser at the transmission and measure its temperature. Big girl, back it up. Oh yeah. And back to park. Yeah, okay guys. Well, let me hop out. I'll debrief real quick and we'll talk about what the plan is. Just for aesthetic purposes. Look at this, ready? Auto. Whoop. Oh, only auto down, not auto up. A little bit of loosage on the track over there, but it's actually nice. And then nice. We confirmed all the lights work already. Turn this up a little bit. Whoop. God, she's just cranky. So cranky. right, let me shut her off. She's noisy, even though she has a 4-foot muffler. Okay, well, let's recap. So, purchased it $5,400 with the transmission, the transfer case, the extra parts, the rear bumper, the dashboard, U-bolts, whatever. I've got about, let's call it, oh, and a brand new torque converter, single disc, 950 foot-pounds, lower stall. I've got about $11,000 into this truck. Now, I'd say that's pretty decent for what else is out there on the market right now. I'm not sure what I want to do with this thing. It is a 26-year-old truck. It drives like a 26-year-old truck. It sounds like a 26-year-old 24-valve, 5.9 liter Cummins. One thing I did learn, it is a 56 block engine code. The 53s were made down in South America. They were no good. They were thin. This does have the 56 block, so that's got a good thing going for it. Outside of that, yeah, just a solid truck. Low miles for these things. New transmission, has a warranty. New transfer case, has a warranty. Good parts. It's a good looking rig. It's got big tires. Tires are basically brand new. These wheels will clean up nicely. She's not perfect by any means, but in all things considered, pretty sweet truck. I think I'm gonna drive it around. I just got it insured. I'm going to pick up tags early next week so I can drive around legally, and that's it. I've got it listed for sale already. When this video comes out, it's listed for $18,500. Honestly, I think it's worth $16,000 as it sits. The frame is solid. It's got a little bit of rust, cab corners, door fenders. Nothing's too crazily rotten. But again, it's a 26-year-old truck. Yes, it does have some rust. It was not a pristine farm-kept rig. It's from the East Coast. But it's rated for heavy towing. The hitch is in good shape. It's got a turnover ball in the bed. It's got all the things that you'd want for a big tow rig like this. So if you're interested and the truck's still available, $18,500. I'm probably not going to get rid of it for less than that because I don't need to. I've got good money in it. I know what I did to this truck. You guys just watched a 3-hour-long video about all the things I did to this truck. So if you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. And hang on, I got a surprise for you. I will be making another video because SPE Lab sent me head studs and the new cold air intake. So this won't be the last time you see this truck. We're gonna throw on the new cold air intake, the new head studs, beef up this rig a little bit more, and then we'll see. Do I keep 2 blue trucks as my tow rigs? This one not costing me anything. That one's got a truck payment. I'm not getting rid of the old blue Duramax. Don't worry, it's staying. That thing doesn't owe me a dime. But when it comes to big blue here, the 1-ton, I left my lights on. Whoops. That's where we're gonna leave it for now. So as always, thank you guys for watching. I don't know, I kind of love this thing, but I also own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I own 9 vehicles right now, and we're moving. I don't know where I'm gonna put them all. All right, see you guys.